guys, I love this 55 and up community, don't you?
Yeah.
This is great. Is there always somebody who's the unofficial mayor?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I asked the group earlier who they thought the mayor is. Who do you guys think the mayor is?
Kevin.
Kevin. Where's Kevin?
He's not here.
Is he here?
Yeah.
Kevin is napping on the job. So interestingly enough, my dad lives in a 55 and up community. He just moved in last year, and he's the unofficial mayor of his too. Usually it's the oldest person or the person who's been there the longest, the one who knows everybody's dog's name and their wife's name too, right? My dad is like the biggest flirt in his 55 and up community. And he's loving it. Let me tell you guys, my sister and I have decided that when my dad passes away, we're keeping that place as a vacation home. Because it is so freaking nice. Right? Like now, I don't have a vacation home. I have friends who invite me to their vacation homes, but the only thing I have to offer back is these 9 cemetery plots I inherited last year. You know? I'm like, this is all I got, you guys, but I thought friends were forever, but they don't seem very interested in it at all. But if I tell them that we're going on vacation to Clayton, that's where my dad lives, he's Clayton. We're like, oh, we're going on vacation, we're going to Clayton. But it's nice, you guys, it's really nice. I know I don't really look like a comedian. Most people would suggest that I look more like the president of my HOA. Right? Which I think is mean because you know they have zero sense of humor. Especially the president of my HOA, you guys. She rides around our neighborhood on a bicycle, like a mall cop in Capri's, just waiting for someone to leave their trash cans out on an unapproved day. Lives for it. Like if there was a zombie apocalypse, I think she would be out writing people up for dead limbs in their yard. If you didn't get that yet, take this down. I'm so weird. If Jesus lived in my neighborhood, I swear she would have made sure he weed-eated around the tomb before he went back to heaven. He's very serious about how things look in the neighborhood. And but you gotta understand too, like there's, as bad as the people at the HOA are, the people who live in the neighborhood are just as bad. Like there's always that one guy who wants you to paint your White House dark gray because it puts a glare on his television. Yeah. So let me ask you guys. I see, as my dad's silent generation, I see some of his cohorts out here. I see some boomers. But is there anybody here that was born between 1965 and 1970? Clap. I thought this was a 55 and up community. There are a few. Well, I'll tell you. Do we have any? Well, if you are, which is me, I'm geriatric Gen X. Yeah. And the thing about geriatric Gen X is that we had the hair, you know. My hair when I was in high school looked like the north end of a southbound rooster, you know. And I could drive stick shift all the way to school while doing my hair. We were very talented back then. We went to see Jaws with our best friend in the movie theater. Our best friend who was also 8 years old. Right? Our mom just dropped. Some of you dropped your kids off and enjoyed that 2 hours while they were terrorized in a movie theater. Just me and my 8-year-old friend and a shark and a bunch of body parts and some popcorn. That's pretty much how it went, right? We were the generation that spent 2 weeks allowance on a pet rock. Yeah, suckers, weren't we? It was a real toy. I'm sure some of you are familiar. It came in a little box with some straw. But here was the great thing about the pet rock. It doubled as a concealed carry weapon to protect you from would-be abductors. Because that's what we were afraid of as kids. You know, like today they have Life 360, they track people, we've got cameras everywhere. Back then, if you were taken, you were gone. And the reason we knew this was when we sat in the morning eating our cereal, there was the picture of a kid on the milk carton. And it said, "Have you seen me?" And my 12-year-old self thought, that's a kid who didn't spend 2 weeks allowance on a pet rock. or candy for that matter, because that's how they ended up in the van. Okay, y'all can laugh at that. I have kids. That's a terrible joke for a mom to tell, right? I have 2 kids, one who loves Jesus and one who needs Jesus. They usually come in pairs like that, don't they? You know, and thank God they both finally graduated from college because Jesus and I are exhausted. Yeah, it's really not fair for us to compare our kids, right? I've got one, she's just always been this little joy. You know, she's a young life leader. She's out there shining like a gospel power glow stick. Where's her brother? Well, he used to eat glow sticks. There's a lot of time at the ER. Now, when he was in college, he was moving from one place to the other, and he had one of those bed frames, you know? And he put it together, but then he called me and was like, Mom, I need a new bed frame, but this one is trash. It doesn't work. I asked a couple of questions, which was interesting. I was a public relations major. Asked a few questions. Turned out he left the bolts out. Do you know what he was majoring in? Close. Construction management. Yeah, I told him, I was like, if you ever build me a house, honey, I'm sleeping in the yard.
You didn't have that course yet.
But he did graduate, and he did get a job with a construction company, ironically building a 55 and up community in Southern Pines. If you got any friends, maybe he's doing the groundwork. He's doing the site work. I think they're going to be okay. But he was living with us for a few months after he graduated, and he went to a new doctor, and they asked him, who's your primary care provider? Do you know what he said? My mom. Like I'm still cutting up his chicken. His sister's a sweetie, you guys, and she majored in communication with a minor in journalism, which was perfect for her because she's always had a gift of words. She and I were at Target one day, and we encountered this woman. We all meet these people on occasion, just people who are just walking around with pent-up frustration, looking to unleash it on other people, right? Well, there was this woman in the line at Target, and she was giving everyone a hard time, and she got over to us, and I was ready for her. And when she started in, my daughter took over, and she said, blah, blah, blah. She was 5 years old. She was 5, and I was amazed and like freaked out all at the same time that my child said this to another adult, right? And I had to think to myself, what's different? I know she's been watching Hannah Montana because Barney would have never taught her to talk to an adult like that, right? As she walked out of there, she swiped the juice box and said, "This is why I drink." I was like, thank God Jesus took the wheel with that one. Because who knows what would have happened. I do miss when my kids were little, though. They were so sweet. We especially liked going to the pool, and I loved the lifeguard. He was a cutie pie. All the moms would literally throw the kids into the pool. But I was raising my kids mostly on my own. I went through a divorce and mostly with me. And so I decided I needed some help. I need a husband, right? And so I went out on the dating apps to look for someone new. And it was not going very well at first. I'm sure you've heard all the horrors of dating on the internet. But I'm telling you, it can work if you get specific about what you're looking for, right? So you want to hear my dating profile of her?
Yeah.
Because I was not a very good cook, and things were starting to fall apart in my house. So I wrote, must love to cook, must know how to fix things, and not expect me to relocate for him.
Simple to that.
You guys, I married a homeless handyman who makes a vegan We met 10 years ago this month, and my life has been amazing, y'all. He was the only guy in my DMs who could fix dinner and a dishwasher. So, yeah, and he thinks it's funny that I do comedy. He wishes that he could do this. I told him that this would be my husband if he did comedy. He would say, my wife She's worthless. That would be it. Because he does everything. He's great. He and I are growing old together, and I mean, like now, we're growing old together. He's losing his hair a little bit, and the thing that I really noticed, a change in me, because I'm going to be 59 soon, is that, just the neck. The neck just drops, right? He's had this nice little angle, and now it's just, this. And it really bothers me, but I look around at my family, and it's a thing. Like, it's just what happens to us in our family. When my great aunt died last year, her neck was so long. Y'all haven't even heard the punchline yet. My neck was so long, you guys, that we found all the heirloom jewelry up there. Breath mints and tissue. So, I mean, what do I do, right? I'm just going to live with it. It's not too bad. Maybe I'll hide some things up there to surprise my family someday, right? Anyway, so my husband, I got a 2-for-1 with my husband because his dad was also homeless. And he came to live with us. He's a cute little man. I got to tell you guys, he was in a short-term rental. My husband doesn't like that I say he was homeless, but I like my virgin better. But yeah, his father came to live with us too, and he's this cute little man. He's about 85 years old. And he moved here from Texas, and he didn't have any friends. So I was like, well, I'm going to take him to the senior citizens group over the church so he can make some friends. So I dropped him off. I was like, hey, here you go. This is my father-in-law. And then when I turned to leave, they said, where are you going? I was 55 at the time. I was not ready. And imagine my surprise when I found out I was old enough to join. They do make good coffee. It was good. But I decided to join a different senior citizens group. It's called water aerobics. Yeah, y'all go to, oh yeah, it's fun, isn't it? I love water aerobics. It's like little ladies were bopping around, usually the yacht rock. But one day they decided to play heavy metal. Have they ever played heavy metal at yours? Yeah, it's weird. It's like running with the devil, water weights. And I was like, well, this is cool. They're playing my music. And then I realized this is the new sweat to the oldies. So, anyway, my mom passed away a couple of years ago, which is what my dad knew. And my sister and I have been trying to spend our inheritance, but no one takes Beanie Babies as payment. We've tried everywhere. So we decided to open a museum called Things Your Mother Wouldn't Let You Touch. You can buy a ticket. Not only can you touch it, you can take it with you. We're fine. Take that Beanie Baby. My mom, one of my favorite things about my mom was watching Outlander. Do we have any Outlander fans on here? Oh, yeah. My mom loved Outlander, you guys. She came for the historical fiction, but she stayed for the made-for-TV porn. Which was a shock. Silent generation mom, right? My dad was so shocked that she liked it that much. He said that if Outlander had been out in the 70s, I would have had at least 3 more siblings. He said that. My mom didn't talk much about sex. I mean, she barely taught me anything. This was the 70s. This was the 80s. I learned most everything I learned from Glamour magazine, Judy Blume, and the movie Grease. I thought everyone wanted a hickey from Connecticut. You know? Our moms gave us weird advice, like don't stuff your bra and don't go out of the house with dirty underwear, right? Because you might get in a car accident. And I remember thinking to myself at 16, imagining myself laid out unconscious with toilet paper streaming out of my shirt, 2 sets of skid marks, if you know what I mean. And the ambulance driver is like, you call her parents, you call Belk Department Store, we have a double emergency. All right, you guys, it's been great. Thank you so much.